What's up, Fragrant family? This is Tyler with Simply Fragrances, and today I'm bringing you another tag video. That's right, I've been tagged yet again. Thank you seriously so much for this, John. I really do appreciate this. I was tagged by John Morrell at John Morrell Fragrance Reviews, so I'm going to leave a link to his channel in the description below. Be sure and go pay him a visit. Super awesome guy. Me and him are good buddies. We talk, pretty consistently. So really good buddy of mine, really great guy. So go show his channel some love. Now, what this is 21 questions. Now, these questions are, fragrance related and some not so much. So it's going to be kind of a really cool video. I wanted to kind of do something like this a long time ago, just never got around to it. So really excited to bring this to you guys. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, guys, please go ahead, hit the red subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, and we'll go ahead and get started. But before we do that, guys, check out the intro. All right, guys, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for tuning in with me. Really do appreciate that. To all my new subscribers, welcome. We are now family. You are part of the Fragrance family. I appreciate you guys being here. For those of you who have been part of the OG family, man, thank you guys seriously so much. It really does mean a lot. Really excited to bring this video to you. So I got the questions right here. I'm going to kind of read them off just as we go along, and we'll have a good old time. So hope you guys are doing really well. I'm doing fantastic. I just got a brand new purchase. I never pay retail for anything, but this I had to make an exception. This is Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Forever, so be sure and check out some summer list coming up, my review over this. Man, this stuff is fantastic. But let's go ahead and get into the first question. And the first question is, have you ever been to perfume school? And the answer simply is no. I've wanted to, but just never really got around to it. I've watched a couple different videos, especially with like Aaron Tarantino. I really do enjoy his fragrances, and I like his passion and his art behind it. So I've watched several of his videos on YouTube and Instagram, kind of getting a idea of what it entails, and I've kind of watched different other perfumers, but never took the class myself. Now, the next question is, do you consider yourself addicted to fragrances? And the short answer is yes, but not like super obsessed. So, I've got some friends, man, they say they think about fragrances all day long while they're at work, in their free time, they're always just thinking about fragrances. And I'm addicted in the sense that obviously I have quite the collection. It goes all the way down to the ground. I do enjoy them. I love talking about them. I'll call up John Morrell or Corbin from Northwest Scents, shout out to him. We'll just talk fragrances. I'll talk to Ross Carlos at TLTG Reviews. We'll talk fragrances, stuff like that. I've got some buddies, we'll talk fragrances. Anytime I go to Burlington, TJ Maxx, places like that, I always check the fragrances. I've even been known to, go to those places on my lunch break to see if there's anything available, but it's not something that I'm just constantly thinking about. So in a way, yes, because I do have a lot and I do enjoy them, and anytime I go to a place where there's fragrances, I have to see what they have, but it's not like it's just on my mind 24/7 nonstop. So the next question is, what's the first memory you have of wearing a fragrance? Now, that is kind of sort of tricky because whenever I was super young, I used to be in the bathroom with my grandpa while he was getting ready, and I kind of, he'd put a little aftershave on me, stuff like that. But I wouldn't really consider that wearing a fragrance to like wear, so I'm not really going to include that one, but I was probably like 3 or 4 years old at that point. But the first time I actually ever remember wearing a fragrance to actually wear it and enjoy it, and because I thought it smelled great, I was probably 7 or 8 years old. It was around Christmas time, and I was gifted a little bottle of Nautica Original. So not even the Voyage wasn't even out yet. This is back in the 90s, so kind of showing my age here a little bit, but I remember getting that as a little gift set from one of my friends' dad who got it, and they didn't really care for it so much, so they actually gifted it to me. And I remember wearing it to school the next day, and I felt like the king of the world. I thought I smelled just like $1,000,000. So I'd say about 7 or 8 years old, wearing Nautica Original. The next question is, what is the first fragrance that I purchased with my own money? So as you guys know, I've said many times that the first fragrance I ever purchased with my own money, and not just like a, $5 bod spray or whatnot. It was Versace Man Eau Fresh. That was my first fragrance that I ever remember purchasing with my own money. Just, I saved up for it because I just got my first job, got my first car, got my first house. Me and a couple buddies, we were roommates, and went to Dillard's, paid retail. I didn't know anything about discounted sites. In fact, I don't honestly even know if discounted sites were around back then, but Versace Man Eau Fresh was my first fragrance that I personally ever purchased. Now the next question, it can be kind of taken a couple of different ways. It says, what's the oldest fragrance in your collection? So I'm not really sure if they're looking for like what fragrance has been around the longest that you own, or just a fragrance that's been in your collection the longest. So I'm going to answer it kind of two ways. The fragrance that's been around the longest that I own is actually Acqua di Parma Colonia. That came out in like the early 1900s, so been around for a good long while. But the fragrance that I've had for the longest, and I've honestly never done a review on this, which I don't understand why, but it's actually something called Arab Tradition. This is actually a really good copy of Tom Ford's Tuscan Leather, a little bit more vibrant and bright than Tom Ford Tuscan Leather, but I've had that for probably 4 years now, 5 years, somewhere in there, so a good long while. That's honestly one of the oldest fragrances in my car. All right, so the next question is there a fragrance that I can't stand to smell? And the simple answer is yes. The one fragrance that I don't like it, I can't stand it, it gives me a headache because it's just so obnoxiously sweet, is Ultramalt. Now, I know that a lot of people are thinking, what? That's my number one most complimented fragrance. The ladies love it. It smells so sweet and it smells so good. It just honestly gives me a headache and I don't enjoy wearing it. All right, so the next question, guys, is one that I just can't give one answer to. It is, what is your favorite food? And guys, let me tell you, I don't miss too many meals. Like, I can throw down in the kitchen. I can clean a plate like no one's business. And I love food. I love to eat. I love the camaraderie that comes around food. I mean, just, obviously if you're by yourself, but whenever you're amongst friends and family, there's just something special about that. I really do enjoy that aspect of it. But I can't just pick one food. I love to cook. It's another passion of mine. I enjoy just cooking. So food is something else that I'm passionate about. So to give one answer, I couldn't do. So I've narrowed it down to 4. And I know that seems like a lot, but I literally cannot pick between these 4 as my favorite. So first one is street tacos. I love street tacos. In fact, it's Taco Tuesday today. We are getting some street tacos today. Me and the wife, and Austin and his wife, Jessica, we're bringing them some tacos. So street tacos, gotta be on there. Number 2 is spaghetti. I know that sounds kind of basic, but I'm Italian, and so I love spaghetti, like authentic spaghetti, not something you get at like Fazoli's or Olive Garden or something like that. I'm talking about like good Italian spaghetti that takes like 8 to 9 hours to make because you got to get your gravy just right and everything like that. So good authentic spaghetti. Number 3, sushi. I love sushi, like cannot ever live without sushi. So kind of like George Zaharoff, he loves sushi. I love sushi. It's one of my all-time favorite foods. And then the 4th is, it could be on, I couldn't pick between these 2, so I'm putting them together, is pho, like P-H-O, or ramen. I love good pho and I love good ramen. Like there's just something about it. It's amazing. So those are the 4 favorite foods that I have. I can't pick just one. I can't not include them in my favorites. So hope that counts. All right, so the next question is, do you like sweet, spicy, or mild? And I'm not sure if that is pertaining to food or fragrances, so I'm gonna go ahead and say it's food. I really love good spicy food, not like obnoxiously hot to where your eyes are watering and your nose is just running, but I mean, I do enjoy that. I just wouldn't prefer to eat that every day, but I do enjoy good spicy food to where it's got some flavor, it's got a little bit of a heat to it, and it's just got some oomph to it. Like I love Mexican food for that reason. I love putting hot sauce on my tacos, especially like habanero salsa. I make, honestly, the world's best pineapple habanero salsa. I will stand by that. I mean, I love putting it on like my fish tacos, all kinds of Mexican dishes, and it's just absolutely delicious. So spicy is what I would choose. All right, so the next question is, what is the last fragrance that you just purchased? And it's right here. I just showed it early, I guess. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't know that question was going to be on here. But Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Forever. Awesome stuff. Can't wait to review it. It's going to be good, guys. It's going to be a good summertime fragrance. All right, guys. So the next question on here is there a fragrance that you've wanted to purchase for a while, just for some reason haven't got around to it? And the answer is yes. I mean, I can't tell you how many times, I'll go to Fragrance X or fragrance.net, places like that. I'll have stuff in my cart for 6-7 months, and then, it keeps going in and out, and I keep putting it there and then taking it out. And there's just been so many fragrances, but one in particular that I've been thinking about getting for probably close to 3 years now, just haven't pulled the trigger, and I'm kind of kicking myself in the pants for not doing it, because there was a really great deal on Fragrance X around the Christmas time. Just never did it, but it is Creed's Original Vetiver. That is one that I've wanted for so long. And Vetiver. All right, guys, so we are a little bit over halfway. Thank you guys so much for sticking with this. I really do appreciate that. The next question on here is there a dream fragrance that you really want, but it's just too expensive? And the answer is yes and no, because for a while it used to be Creed Aventus, but I got it. But the longer answer to that is still yes, because there is a Creed Aventus batch that I really, 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 really want to get. I have a little small sample of it that I got as a gift, and I'm treasuring it. I just smell the cap of it because it's that good to me. And it's Creed Aventus 12D01. I absolutely love that fragrance. Like, it's just, there's something about it. Just the pineapple in there is so fresh, but you get this authentic just smokiness to it that you don't get in the newer batches. And so long answer yes, short answer not really, because I do have Aventus, but just this particular batch. So hope that made sense. I don't know, but I kind of wanted to split it up into two, because Creed Aventus used to be it, but now I have it. But now there's a certain batch that I want to get, and it's like, I think $900. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, literally ridiculous. I will never get that. All right, guys, so the next question is, what is the cheapest fragrance in my collection, and do I like it? Yes, I like everything in my collection. That's why it's in my collection. But the cheapest one I have is Barcelona, and I really do enjoy this stuff, guys. It's a sweet, woody, vanillic citrus type of fragrance. I know it sounds super weird, but it actually works really, really well. I paid $9 for this at Ross, and it's super good, actually. I'm gonna give it a quick little spray. Just a good citrusy, woody, vanillic type of fragrance. Really, really great gym fragrance. If you want something just to wear cheap to the gym, don't hesitate on this. Barcelona. Yeah, it's just called Barcelona Eau de Toilette. So boom. All right, guys, so the next question, that's actually kind of it could be taken either way, just kind of like what John was talking about in his video. The next question is, what is the most expensive fragrance in your collection? Now, I don't know if they want just like overall price point or per ml. So I kind of have two that I'm gonna go with. So first one is this bad boy right here. This is Creed Aventus. This is 17Q11. I paid a little, I think it was like around $300, $320, somewhere in there, $350, something like that. That's the most I've ever put out just for one fragrance. So that was that. And then the other one is this bad boy right here. This is Baccarat Rouge 540, and the reason I put that in there is because that was $204 for 70 ml. So per ml it is more expensive than the Creed Aventus. So that hopefully is the answer. I don't know, like, that's just kind of how I perceived it, so that's what I went with. So yeah. All right, guys, so the next question on here is, does my partner wear fragrances, and does he or she have one that they can't stand? And the answer is yes. My wife does wear fragrances. I've gotten her some Burberry. I've gotten her some Versace. She really likes that. Working on getting her some Ralph Lauren. So there's a couple fragrances that she has that I really do enjoy. One that I wish that she would like, but she just doesn't, and I don't know why, is Versace Yellow Diamond. That is like my all-time favorite women's fragrance. I know that sounds weird, but love that stuff. Wish she liked it, but she doesn't. So, and then is there a fragrance of mine that she hates? Obviously, you guys already know the answer to that. Much like John Morrell and his wife, my wife hates the barbershop fragrances, and so she does not like anything barbershop, but she specifically mentioned, and George, I'm so sorry if you watch this, man. No offense. I love your stuff. We all love your stuff. My wife just doesn't know what she's talking about. But she cannot stand Zaharoff signature pour on. I love this stuff. It's so good. I don't know why she doesn't like this. I don't know. Must have got dropped in her head or something. I don't know, because that stuff is absolutely gorgeous. Love that stuff. So, but that is the answer to that question. So yes, she does. So the next question is, pre-pandemic, was it rare for people in your area to wear fragrances? And honestly, no, not really, because whenever I worked at Chick-fil-A, I did that for about a year or so. One of my buddies, he wore Versace Eros quite a bit and Bleu de Chanel. We talked about fragrances here and there. And then another coworker, he liked Yves Saint Laurent L'Homme and Versace Eros Flame. So I knew two people that worked that wore fragrances, and then one of my managers, he had a small little collection. I think he had like 10 or 12 in his collection, and he liked Mont Blanc. Spirit was his favorite. So Mont Blanc Legend Spirit was his favorite. So it wasn't super uncommon, but no one like me to where it's like a hobby, it's where it's a passion, to where they're collecting them, so to speak. So but yeah, no, I would walk through the mall all the time, smell different colognes on people, go to work, people would be wearing fragrances. One of my buddies, he likes Burberry Brit, so not super uncommon, no. All right, so the next question is, do I prefer coffee or tea? And that, man, that's really hard for me to decide, because I'm growing up in the South. I mean, I'm in the southern part of Missouri, so we're technically considered the South. And I love sweet tea, especially on a hot summer day. Man, I love sweet tea, but I also love coffee in the morning. So I got to give it to both, honestly. I drink a lot of coffee in the morning, and then through the summer and kind of all year round, but especially in the summertime, I love sweet tea. Like, it is so good. Some sweet tea, put a little mint leaf in there, and man, you are good to go. That is something of the angels. Like, I love that stuff. So I gotta give it. All right, so the next question is, do you wear fragrances that are marketed towards the opposite sex? And surprisingly, yes. I did not know this, but Shea Bond, I was doing some research on, and Shea Bond is actually marketed for women, but I love this stuff. I like it better than Green Irish Tweed. So I mean, that's saying something, but it smells very similar to Creed and Green Irish Tweed, and apparently it's marketed towards the women. So don't really know why, but that's just kind of how it is. I don't think it smells feminine at all, really. I don't think it smells super masculine either. I think it's perfectly unisex, but that is what it is. And then another one, this one kind of secret, so I mean, I guess the cat's out of the bag now, but I have a little travel atomizer of Versace Yellow Diamond because I love it so much. I wish my wife loved it, but every once in a while, if it's just me around the house or me and my wife, I'll spray it on my wrist just because I love that fragrance. It just smells elegant and classy. I love it. I don't wear it outside just because, I mean, I don't want to be told that you smell like a woman, but fragrances often, at least, in the fragrance community, they're non-gender specific. You can wear what you want, but at the same time, I know that if I were to wear it around my friends, they would say you smell like a girl, and that's fine. I mean, it's whatever. I like it, but around the house, I'll put on some Versace Yellow Diamond. All right, so the next question is, when you're traveling, do you bring full bottles or do you bring decants? Now, I really don't travel too awful much. We did take a trip to Pennsylvania and Washington, D.C. last June, and I brought full bottles. And then this year, we're actually planning to go to Florida, and I'm probably going to do decants. Now, here's why. So before last year, like around June, I didn't have too many expensive fragrances, and so I didn't mind bringing the full bottle. And so I brought like Mont Blanc. It was Mont Blanc Blanc Star Walker and a couple others, so nothing too crazy. So I did bring, the full bottles, but whenever we go to Florida, I plan on bringing some more expensive stuff like Millisome Imperial and then Erolfa. And then since those are older bottles, really hard to kind of find, I'm probably just going to decant those so that way nothing happens to them. Moving forward, I would probably do decants so that way. Now this question is pre-pandemic. Did you receive compliments on your cologne? And the answer is yes. Whenever I worked at Chick-fil-A, I actually received more compliments than any place that I've ever worked at. And that was just because we're in a closer environment. A lot of my buddies wore fragrances. And then one of my managers, she always came by me whenever, she saw me. She was like, "What are you wearing today? Because you always smell good." So I got a lot of compliments, pre-pandemic on my cologne. All right, guys, we're getting down to the last 2 questions. Thank you so much for sticking around this far. The next question is going to be, when you're at home, do you wear fragrances while you're home alone? And I've already kind of answered that. So the answer is definitely yes. I do like to wear fragrances when I'm home alone, especially when the wife's not around. That's, fragrances that she doesn't like, I can spray on just to kind of get more familiar with. And, there's just something about being in your own home, kind of relaxing, watching TV, reading a book, just kind of chilling out off the balcony, whatnot, and, wearing one of your favorite fragrances. So I do wear fragrances while I'm home alone. All right, guys, so we are at the last question. Thank you guys seriously so much for sticking around this far. And the question is, do you wear fragrances more for yourself or more to receive compliments? And I really enjoyed what John Morell had to say about this on his video. The answer is both. I mean, honestly, I don't think there's a single person in the world that if they wore a fragrance that everyone hated but themselves, that they would continue to wear it around people. They would wear that at their house, probably wouldn't go outside and wear it because no one wants to get told, "Hey man, you smell like dog crap, like what are you wearing?" But at the same time, they like it enough to where they're gonna wear it for themselves at their home or wherever they're at. So the answer is both. I wear them primarily, now I will say this, I do wear them primarily for myself, and here's why. Because there's so many fragrances that I really do enjoy that my wife hates, and I kind of had to get over that a little bit, just thinking, hey, she's not gonna like this, that's okay. I like the way this smells, I like the way that it makes me feel whenever I wear this, and so I'm gonna go ahead and wear it anyways. Now, that being said, there are fragrances that, I will wear if I'm going to like a party or a church or, but when I say party, I don't mean like getting drunk type of party and then going to church the next day. I don't do that. But just like a dinner party or something like that, or like a special occasion, stuff like that. I'll wear something a little bit more mass appealing, stuff that everyone's going to enjoy. One, because I want to be courteous to others, but two, who doesn't like getting told they smell good? I mean, honestly, it makes your day just brighten up that much more. Like whenever a couple questions ago, have I received compliments on my colognes? And I got one just yesterday. Man, that made me feel good. That made me feel great. I was like, you know what? I picked the right cologne for today, and I was pulling it off, and it just made me smell really great, and it made me feel great getting those compliments. So I wear them for myself, obviously, because there are certain ones that I have that my wife does not like, or that most people don't really enjoy, like Dior Eau Sauvage. That's just more of a dated type of fragrance. It has more of a masculine DNA, but I really do enjoy it. It makes me feel confident. It makes me feel just gentleman-like, and so I wear that one for myself. So long story short, I wear them for both compliments and for myself. All right, guys, so that was the last question. Thank you guys seriously so much for sticking around this far. I had fun. Hope you guys had fun. Did you guys have fun? Comment down below if you had fun. Just getting to know me a little bit better, getting to know, some of my styles and my taste and what I like, what I don't like. I just thought it was kind of fun. So now I got to tag some people. So who am I going to tag? Man, I'm going to tag Corbin over at Northwest Sense. You were tagged, my friend. I'm going to tag Tyrone at Bro Sense. I'm going to tag The Fragrance Wardrobe. You were tagged, friend. I'm going to tag Justin at Stay Fresh Productions. And then who else am I going to tag? I'm gonna tag JP at JP Frags. I know that you got some stuff going on, man, so if you're not able to do it, completely understand. You don't have to. But other guys, I wanna know these answers. I wanna get these questions to you and see what your answers are. 21 questions. I will send you guys the questions, and the questions I'll leave in my description below. So, all right, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you guys seriously so much for sticking around this far. I'll catch you guys next time. And remember, if you love it, wear it.